we're going to take you on a dance journey called Unspoken Words. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in dance, we don't always use our voices to tell stories. We're going to show you how we can tell stories with movement and maybe just sounds. Well, in this story, we're going to be focusing on punctuation. I'm sure you know what this is. It's a period. Now, what does a period do? It stops a sentence. Well, in this dance, we made up movements and sounds to go with all the punctuation marks. The Zacks by Dr. Seuss.
One day, making tracks in the prairie of cracks, came a north, zip, going zacks, and a south, zip, going zacks.
And it happened that both of them came to a place where they bucked. There they stood, foot to foot, face to face.
Look here. Now, the north, zip, going zack said, I say, you are blocking my path. You are right in my way. I'm a north going zacks and I always go north. Get out of my way now and let me go forth.
We're going to tell you a folk tale from the country of China. While you are watching the story of Lao Lao of Dragon Mountain, there are a few things we want you to be thinking about. The story elements. Now, story elements are basic components of every story. We want you to think about the time period. When does a story take place? And about the setting. Where does the story take place? The characters. Who is in the story? Good, bad, and magical characters. What is the plot of the story? What happens in the story? What is the problem? And what is the solution? Now, every story also has a theme. I call it the lesson, or the main idea. Does somebody in this story learn a lesson? Let's watch. Not very far from Lungshan was the court of the
Emperor
of all
China.
One day, a young serving maid received a
Paper flower
from one of her relatives in Lao Lao's village. The news
spread
throughout the palace. Oh, the color, it's so
delicate,
just like a real
flower.
Yes, said the excited girl. They say she can make anything. Well, the
Emperor
was a man of great power and wealth, but he was also cruel and
greedy.
seated on his
Throne
he overheard their
chatter
and his eyes
burn
with desire. Meanwhile, down below at the
bottom
of the
tower
stood the two
guards
waiting and warming themselves by a fire. And yet, in all the darkness and stillness, something was
Watching.
Something had seen everything. The
Ice dragon.
who lived at the
Top
of the
mountain.
tonight, the
Dragon.
knew that something was wrong. He
Stretch.
forth his giant scaled body, and leaving his bed of he
Blue.
over the land, he
Blue.
over the great palace of the
Emperor.
and then circling back toward the
Mountain.
he saw the
Emperor riding.
toward the
Tower.
round and round the
Tower.
the
Ice dragon.
circled the
Anger.
rising in his chest as he saw the woman lying helpless on the floor. The
Tower.
on the
Mountain.
of the
Ice dragon.
is no longer standing. Instead, you will find 3 pillars of ice. It is said that if you look very carefully, you can make out the figures of the
Emperor
and his 2
guards.
When they learn,
Compassion.
they may return to human form. But that is another story.